Okay, it's time to talk about Andrew Schulz, because this player might actually be a hater. Now, we all know him as the smooth-talking white boy from Guy Code, his podcast and stand-up specials, but most people don't know that Andrew used to be very different. See, apparently, Andrew was very much a quiet kid growing up in Florida, who preferred to stay indoors and watch anime. And in his youth, he went by Drew and preferred to spell it J-R-U, which led others to ridicule him, saying only a moron would choose to spell their own name wrong. Well, needless to say, Andrew didn't have many friends, and that's where his love of TV developed. And it's sometime in high school where Andrew becomes particularly obsessed with the show Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And of course, this made him even more of an outcast. But there was one positive development from his love of this TV show. Now, apparently there's an episode where Sabrina goes ballroom dancing, and for whatever reason, this grabbed the young Andrew, and he was soon enrolled in traditional ballroom dance class. And this was actually something he excelled at, and was a social group who didn't see him as odd. So it seemed Andrew had finally found his footing. That is, until he got severely injured during a performance during a momentary act-out gone wrong. See, they had planned on the ballroom dance music cutting out, and Andrew quickly mimicking Michael Jackson's iconic crotch grab, thinking this would be hilarious and make the crowd erupt. But when the song cut off sooner than Andrew had anticipated, he rushed into his position, falling and breaking both his legs and feet. Well, you can imagine this must have been a very dark time for poor Andrew. He was going to be bedridden for a year before he could even learn how to walk again, and was going to be cut off from his only passion and friend group. Well, fate has a funny way of working, because Andrew being locked in bed is what led him to learn coding. And by the time he could walk again a year later, he already had a healthy career, with regular work from some big-name clients. And one of those clients was The Daily Show. So now Andrew works for a hip TV show. Seems like an upgrade, right? Well, he quickly experienced what his rank was as a website coder, and found that he wasn't really socially included the same way he was as a child. Well, this is where it gets weird. So at that time, working on The Daily Show is one Hasan Minhaj, who would later go on to host his own comedic political show. But what you might not know about Hasan Minhaj is that at the time he was also a recruiter for G. Wayne, which is a legal consulting firm owned, of course, by the Magellan Corporation. And this is a firm that basically gets celebrities out of jams. They build legal tactics to protect their big-name clients and are known for being more than shady. And this is the same legal firm that Warner Brothers called upon when Logan Paul got into his Japanese forest controversy. If you remember, at the time it threatened to end his career. So Warner Bros. Paid big bucks for G. Wayne to develop something called LT38. And what this is a whole new language and a way of speaking that renders you legally not accountable for anything you say. Let me break this down for you. All these no-cap boys that talk with a partially black, partially Hispanic, partially internet accent are not the fools you think they are. In fact, they've all been trained in legalese to speak like this intentionally, so they can't be sued no matter what they say. They can sell you products and bogus info, it doesn't matter as long as they're speaking LT38. But how does Andrew Schulz go from being a web programmer to being the no-cap fire Riz chud that he is today? Well, apparently the only way to get LT38 legally recognized is if public figures use it regularly for one business year. So the G. Wayne firm tasks Hasan Minhaj with recruiting some easily coachable duds to place on hit shows. And it didn't take long for the internet to take over, seeing millions of 10-year-olds calling their parents sus mid-ass pony bitches. So Andrew Schulz really isn't special at all. He's just one of 4 people who were lucky enough to get the role. And when the cameras are off, the LT38 is off. You can even see traces of the real Andrew still out there, as he regularly likes Melissa Joan Hart's Facebook posts. And recently we've seen a bitter Hasan Minhaj get kicked off X, which is hard to do. But apparently he feels he got a raw deal in the end, seeing all his recruits continually growing in fame while he has seemingly stalled out. He claims he is the first and original no-cap boy, and that he taught them all everything they know. From caring about clean shoes for no real reason, to constantly getting haircuts up to 3 to 4 times a day, and so on. This post really goes on forever. And it is interesting. Hasan was indeed the frontrunner in using LT38, but has been surpassed by many of the people he taught. And recently everyone's been pointing out Andrew's overtly bad haircut, dye job, and mustache, leading some to believe that he might have actually signed with the Magellan Corporation and could be enduring some of their ritualistic humiliation. But why would Andrew Schulz sign his life away to the Magellan Corporation when he was already successful? Well, it's recently come out that Andrew has applied to every season of Dancing with the Stars since he became successful, but has never been chosen to be on the show. So apparently Andrew's real desire is to prove his ballroom dance skills on national TV. But finding himself unable to get the gig, it seems he signed a deal with the devil just to get his shot on the dance floor. Now there's plenty more weird stuff about this guy, like the fact that he still claims he was bit on the foot by a rat that had glowing chemicals on it, or his secret anime full back piece tattoo, but we'll have to save that for another time. time. Until then, Andrew Schulz, you're a total bitch. Okay, TB Nation, after releasing this information, the Warner Bros. Thugs are gonna come to try to smash my ass. So it's up to you to spread the truth. The TB truth.